Shabbath Shalom to the Most High's elect of the nation of Israel. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Kal Halal, Wahawad La, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rachaha Kodash. Double honor goes out to the elder apostles and the elder bishops and the elders at the Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and who teach well. And salutations to the hopeful elect, as always. Abba Ratazah, which means Father willing. So Father willing, this lesson is edifying. Yeah, this does not surprise me whatsoever, man. Not at all. So here we have an article from endtimeheadlines.org, all right? And this was put up on the 19th of June, 2026, the year of sellouts, agents, and apostates, okay? And I'll put the link to this article in the description box beneath as well. And yeah, you see what it says on your screen, all right? End time headlines. Explosion of stomach cancer sweeping the US. Okay. You want to know why? Yeah, the Crown 19 apple juice, right? That many people took, from 3, 4, 5 years ago. See, you Babylonians have an obesity problem, okay? Malnutrition is a malnutrition problem, okay? You ain't getting the nutrition from the food you eat because the foods are GMOs, genetically modified organisms, all right? Especially in Babylon the Great. Food over there is terrible. And hey, when it comes to the CHIP, the MOTB, man, a lot of people are going to take it for the fear of being left out as well. Okay. But the food over there is terrible, man. All right. That's why Norway brought in cheese and, from their country and what else? Other foods that they have. Right? Because I know the American food is terrible. Everyone knows. It's banned in a lot of countries around the world. And Europe as well. Okay. It's horrible. It's horrendous. Okay. Look at the back of your favorite snacks in the supermarket stores. That's why you got inflammation, right? cancer cells, all right, because of all that inflammation, right? Those orange juice yabs damage different parts of people's bodies, man. All right, even people that were around people that took the thing were affected by this in an indirect way. Something called protein shedding or shedding, when the spike protein sheds off into your blood, then it makes its way into your bloodstream. Either way, if you didn't get it, you still got the shit, Nevertheless, turbo cancer are increasing. Yeah, 96% of food supplies is through glyphosate, which is not an edible chemical. Right, then you have GMO corn. Right, stay away from that fructose corn syrup as well. Now, this is not medical misinformation. I'm just going in the news. Okay, I ain't no doctor either. All right, the word doctor means to falsify. I'm telling you truths, man. Something that these doctors ain't gonna tell you. But nonetheless, man, they're spraying crops with pesticides and the water is polluted, just like the air we breathe. Yeah, chemtrails are being sprayed in the skies. Right, the world was not polluted like this in the ancient world. You could drink from rivers, streams back then. Try that in the UK and see what happens to you. Yeah, you're going home with a disease if you even make it home or something. Anyway, the job of this devil is not to heal you. Right, you can go to a doctor or a hospital. You can get an ultrasound or an MRI scan, right? Like of that of the abdomen. And they can tell you that you have cancer cells forming on the stomach or the uterus or whatever, right? Okay, whatever the case may be. But oftentimes they wait till it's too late to tell you. Then by that time, you're at stage 4. Then before you know it, you got 6 months left to live. That's why we push taking the herbs, man. Call Sprinty Haba Shemel Shai first and foremost for healing, because healing comes off him first. See, these medications that he prescribes to you are chemically based, man. Right? So let's get into this article. Even look at the image. Explosion of stomach cancer sweeping the US. Cases sought alarming highs across the nation on the rise. Stomach C rates have increased 2 times in the last 3 decades. Younger patients rising sharply among adults under 50. People getting heart attacks in Babylon the Great under 50. Late detection, Valley of the Shadow of Death. Late detection, over 70% diagnosed at an advanced stage. Yeah, that's from that image. Stomach cancer cases among younger Americans are rising at an alarming rate, reversing decades of progress and claiming lives like that of fitness influencer Carly Douglas. Just 3 months before her death at age 36, it's not old, Douglas, a mother of 3 from Greenville, South Carolina, posted a defiant message to 140,000 Instagram followers after being rushed to the hospital with severe abdominal pain and bloating. Cancer picked the wrong girl, she declared. Weeks earlier, she had been sharing videos of intense home workouts and family life. Her passing this week has sent ripples of shock through her online community. Douglas's story underscores a disturbing national trend, once in steady decline thanks to reduced smoking. Shouldn't be smoking anyway. Better hygiene and improved food preservation. Stomach cancer diagnoses in people under 50 are now increasing by about 1% annually. All right. Overall, the disease claims around 31,500 new cases yearly in the US, with an average diagnosis age of 68. But the uptick is concentrated among younger adults. See? Yeah. Experts, see, it's not just an old people it's affecting. Experts point to modern lifestyle factors. Dr. Amar Rawari, a radiation oncologist at Luminis Health in Maryland, noted evidence linking heavily salted or processed foods to high risk. Yeah, of course. See? It's true. And these doctors are not in the business of helping you. See, the so-called WHITEMAN, ruling the world today, wickedness, beginning with the elites. They have to be stopped. Has to be stopped, or else no flesh will be saved. You've got colon, CANCER, on the rise as well. A lot of times, if if someone has happened to be on stage 4, right, they recommend chemotherapy, which is pretty much nothing but chemicals anyway, right? Right, change your diet, okay? Follow the dietary laws of the Bible, the Holy Bible, okay? All right, quit with the pork and the shrimp and lobster, right? And then fast foods, Burger King, KFC, McDonald's, Wendy's, Popeyes, Taco Bell, Subway, etc. Okay, cook at home. All right, you know, eat healthy things. You know what, all right. You can look up different, dietary, plans on YouTube, different diets you can go on. All right, Mediterranean and all that, and intermittent fasting and things of that nature. All right, but chemo is radiation, right? That they put through the body, right? But then it's like a hit or miss because it can either help you or delete you. Mostly, if it does help, it does more damage than good. Radiation is being sent through the body, which is toxic to the body, innit? And knows all this. All right. Sorry, but we're not ignorant to Satan's devices. See, this has been done by design. Wants everyone sick. He wants less people on the planet, right? They want to maintain humanity under 500 million people. Georgia Guidestones, right? That got knocked down some years back, right? The elites feel like they have too many people on Earth, which is daft because, they say you can fit the entire population of the world in the state of Texas, in Babylon the Great America. And maybe it may or may not be true, right? But, maybe that state plus part of another state. If things were governed and managed properly and fairly, I'd see that being very, very, very likely, very plausible that it could, if things were governed and, managed properly and fairly. But he does not want that, doesn't he? And Texas is massive. The UK can fit inside the state of Texas. By area, Texas is approximately 2.8 yeah, 2.8, 2.9 times larger than the UK. The UK is roughly, how much is it? What, 244,000 kilometers squared? I might be completely blowing that. But obviously Texas is larger. So if UK were to fit in, you still have more room left. All right, if the UK was, if it was just like a jigsaw puzzle, fit that on a map like it did the state of Texas, it could hold and then some. Yeah. Ultra processed foods, which dominate many American diets, are associated with a 20 to 25% increased risk of stomach cancer. Yep, alcohol consumption. All right, tone it down on the alcohol, Hakim. Particularly 3 or more drinks daily also elevates danger, with risks rising even at lower levels. Consuming pork and smoking increases the risk of cancer. That's a no-brainer, obviously, right? But yeah, we know the food is tainted, it's poison. No doubt about that. Okay. Let's go to the book of Psalms. Chapter 52. Start verse 1. To the chief musician, the Psalm of David. Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of Yahweh endureth continually. Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. That's what he is all about. Okay? Spread lies, spread falsehood. All right? They have their secret councils and meetings and things of that nature. All right? Thou lovest evil more than good, of course. And lying rather than to speak righteousness. Absolutely. These devils can't sleep until they've done wickedness. Okay? They love evil. Any chance they get, man, they're gonna perform evil to the max. Right? Verse 4, thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. That's right. It tells you to take these treatments and medications, and you go to these doctors and they find and they don't find anything, or they make things worse than what they really are. Then years later from now, you've got other problems. Okay, even if you find it and tell you that you have this or you have that, that could weigh down on someone mentally. All right, because that person can take in what they're saying and really truly believe that, and they can drive them, to do something, drive them to be ill. All right, just that alone. All right, the belief. Okay. Yeah. And, state of depression and things of that nature. All right. All right. That's why you don't trust in this man's medical system. All right. You see, find actual herb or remedy, pray to the Lord and take that to heal you of your infirmities. Utilize the herbs. Yeah, he has messed around with the herbs as well, of course. This devil is anything he gets his hands on, he ruins it, doesn't he? Reducing the potency of them. Man, I'm fed up of eating seedless fruits, man. Seedless grapes. Joke, man. But yeah, again, going back to this part, man. Experts point to modern lifestyle factors like Dr. Amari Warari, a radiation oncologist at Luminous Health in Maryland. Can't trust these people because they took the Hippocratic oath. Can't trust these demons. Food in the grocery stores are processed. All the food is produced. All right. All that is all processed stuff that's produced. Even the so-called organic ones. The meat is processed. All right. They want to take this and that out of the food, and when they should have done it 50 years ago. Or say, this ingredient should never been in this particular food product because people are getting ill because of this. Children are being affected. Their health is being affected. But if they really cared, they wouldn't have put that in anyway. But now they're coming and telling you right at the end when people are getting ill, when they should have long done and took that out of there. Never should have put it in there anyway. Okay. See? Before everyone was sick and dosed up on medication and addicted to the sweeteners and aspartames and stuff. But you see, they want to play the hero and portray themselves as such when they're not. When truly they're the villains. You cannot be the victim and the villain at the same time. You got other things like bottled water, It's leaching into water and all that. Plastic, everything's encased in plastic, man. But bacteria builds up on plastic too. Okay, we know how unhealthy that is. You see, other environmental factors, lab grown meat, food dyes. All right, all that takes a toll on the body over time. Okay, the alcohol is poison too. Get careful with your alcohol intake. All right. Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 13, and verse 4, and it reads, "But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value." Yeah. So if you're a gastro doctor, how are you not detecting this in stage one? Oh well, our machines are, our equipment, can't detect them. Yeah, you paid a wall heap of money for an MRI machine and what have you. Right, you don't have enough technology to see what's on the scans or the scans reading or whatever. You're not disclosing people's medical diagnostics to them in time, man. Because that's what they do. It's what they do. They'll find something, like an excuse or something. All of a sudden, liars, man. No value to you. Let's get that in the NLT, New Living Translation. Job chapter 13, verse 4, NLT. "As for you, you smear me with lies. As physicians, you are worthless quacks." Yeah. All of a sudden, the top-notch doctors think they know it all, man. All right? Frauds are what they are, okay? In fact, I screenshotted when I asked ChatGPT, what a quack is in medical terms. In medical terms, a quack is someone who falsely claims to have medical knowledge or healing abilities and promotes treatments that are unproven, ineffective, or fraudulent. For example, a person selling a open quote miracle cure end quote for cancer with no scientific evidence. Someone claiming to be a doctor when they are not qualified. The practice is called quackery. See? Frauds are what they are, man. They provide medicine that suppresses your condition, making you think you're actually getting better. Ineffective. See, they will let something go, quote, unquote, undetected for years, and then all of a sudden, when they can't hide it from you anymore, they will tell you about it 4 years after they found out about it. Oh, you had this and that. Especially if you don't want to take the municipals, so to speak. See, they don't really want to deal with you too tough unless you deal with their medications, because then they can make a profit off you. Yeah. All right. Bacon. Of course, this is against the dietary law consuming pork. Bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and ham are officially classified in the same CANCER risk group as cigarettes. Look at this. Zoom in. Processed pork, group 1, carcinogenic. Meats preserved by smoking, curing, salting, or adding preservatives. All right. Of course, you're not supposed to be eating pig anyway. No part of it. And recently, Sir Prime Minister Keir Starmer resigned. Over in the UK. Today, Monday. Americans are turning against AI in growing numbers. End time headlines. Yeah. Let's go to the book of the prophet Ezekiel. All right, we're in the book of Ezekiel. There's prophecies. All right, chapter 4, verse 9. Defile bread. All right. Verse 9. Take that also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fitches. Okay. Those are good for the body. All right. and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof, according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof. Yeah, going into our captivity period. All right, verse 10. And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of an hin. From time to time shalt thou drink, and thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight. Feces. Oh, dung from man. All right. So meaning food, food, the food we're consuming is equivalent to crap as well. All right. That's why the vitamin and supplement industry is a multi-million-dollar industry, because everyone is taking supplements, right, behind what they're eating, since they're not getting the omega-3s in their food and stuff like that. Even the supplements are not as potent either, but it's better than nothing. Fish, that's where you get your omega-3s in, fish, certain oils, watermelon brine. You get them from that, which your body obviously requires. Right? A lot of people have these CANCERs because they are deficient in vitamins as well. See, E is destroying everything, right? And E has a lot to pay for, man. He has to go. How is seedless watermelon organic? It makes no sense. But here's the point, verse 13. And the Lord Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. I've done numerous times before, I've gone into the word defiled. Strong's H2931 concordance number, Tamar, unclean, impure, ritually, ethically, and religiously. Yeah, other heathen nations pray over, food at the slaughter and things like that. Okay. All right, and we pray. We have to pray over our foods, man. Okay. Constantly. You see, it's unclean. Like the things that they go through in the factories and all that. How they even make it to the supermarket and stuff like that. Constantly have to wash them rigorously. Soak them in, and all that. Use bicarbonate soda, or is it baking soda? Bicarbonate to wash your fruits and veg and stuff like that. Of course. You see. Oh yeah. Well, that's the point. Defiled foods, hormones being pumped into chickens, mercury in the fish. Foods are heavily processed. McDonald's is killing you. Should not be consuming that. Let's jump down to verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight, and with care, and they shall drink water by measure, and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water, and be astonished with one with another, and consume away for their iniquity. It's truly appalling, man. The American diet is awful, atrocious, horrible. Really, it's due to our sins that the Lord punished us, but our captivity is almost up. All right. Back to the article. Yeah, Dr. Yang He-woo, a gastroenterologist at City of Hope Hospital in California, describes seeing many patients in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, otherwise healthy. Yeah, you're in your prime in your 20s, the early 30s. It's not old. Individuals in the prime of their life, building careers and raising families who simply never imagined they could have CANCER. See, and this devil knows he hath but a short time, so he's coming down with great wrath. He's poisoning up everything, polluting everything, defiling everything. From what they're spraying in the atmosphere to what they're putting in the food and the drinks. All right? Early symptoms such as bloating after small meals, persistent indigestion. You shouldn't, drink fluid and eat large meal at the same time. It's good to, let's say if you drink water, not frozen, but if you drink room temperature water before a heavy meal, at least half an hour before eating, you drink that water. Nice and, slow sips, not like big gulps, And then obviously eat your food slowly. Don't be like them. them what do you call them again? Them guys on YouTube, them pro eaters. They have them they set challenges. They can eat this in they go restaurants or go certain places, eat stuff in like if you finish this in 30 minutes, you get your meal free, you win €50 or whatever. Nah, don't do what they do, man. Grown men doing that. Weird. Early symptoms such as bloating after small meals, persistent in indigestion, nausea, abdominal pain, and heartburn are frequently dismissed as minor digestive problems. By the time many seek help, the CANCER has advanced exactly. Overall, 5 year survival stands at 37%, dropping below 8% for stage 4 cases like Douglas's. See? Sickness ain't discriminating. Yeah. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 14. He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle, and herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. That's right. That's why we need to take the herbs to the best of our abilities. Real, proper, true organic stuff. Right now, of course, he'll come up with these artificial herbs and what have you, and you know what this devil does in his lab, right? But true, proper herbs, proper stuff. That's organic, man. That comes from the earth, right? Every fruit that grows on trees, right? But instead, they do things like force ripe and spray things with chemicals, food with chemicals. All right. You see. But things like proper organic Manuka honey is expensive. Same with natural, with some, maybe a little less expensive or something with natural organic oils. But especially the Manuka honey though. Right. It's expensive. It's also got healing properties too. Seen them in Holland and Barrett over here in the UK. And some go for, Holland Barrett is expensive anyway. I've seen them go for like 50 odd quid. 50 odd British pounds. Right? Then you got that cheap honey, which is basically like sugar. It's basically sugar, cheap stuff. It's rubbish, it's crap. Right? And sugar's bad for the brain. Alright. Reminds me of another scripture in the Apocrypha. Book of Sirach chapter. We'll start from the top. Well, we'll start from 4 and then we'll go back to the top again. Let's go straight to the point. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Sirach 38 and 4. See? So true medicine comes from the earth. We come from the earth. Right? True medicine is not some concoction they produce in a lab somewhere. Yeah. Leave that for E. The pills and stuff is for them, though. That's why they stay dependent upon it. You give E a full English breakfast and some cigarettes, they're good to go. You give that to me, I'll keel over. Verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him, for the Lord hath created him. Yeah, people like Dr. Sebi as well. You can look into him. Dr. Sebi, or Sebi. Sebi. That's how you say his name. Real name, Alfredo Darrington Bowman. Okay. Cured a lot of things. We have to be our own physicians as well. Use the natural remedies. This devil is trying to make everything artificial. He releases ticks so people can't eat beef anymore. Beef is lawful, for crying out loud. They're saying the cows are pooing too much. Synthetic beef. Jill Bates. Right? Jill Bates said that cattle are a significant contributor to greenhouse gases because they produce methane through They produce methane through digestion. He even said that rich countries should move away from beef to reduce climate impact. That's why he suggested alternatives like plant-based or lab-grown meat to help. Talk about high IQ, man. Low IQ, really, in actuality. The Rockefeller Foundation instituted petroleum-based medicinal uses into the health industry. That's what the Rockefeller Foundation did. They instituted petroleum-based medicinal uses into what you call the health industry. So these people are being revealed, man. All right. Verse 2. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. Yeah, you have to pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai first and foremost as well to receive healing. Of course, pray over the herbs as well. All right. We have to be our own herbalists to deal with these, these infirmities. All right. Verse 3. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. You got Akim that are good with the herbs, helping, other Akim, through their infirmities. Right? You can't just run to E, if you have a headache, Right? Yeah, research as well is important. Make use of the herb and do not put your faith in Esau's, pseudoscience. And again, of course, pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for healing. Let's go to the book of John Mark, chapter 13, verse 19, words of Yahushai. For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation which Yahweh created unto this time, neither shall be. And except that the Lord hath shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he hath chosen, he hath shortened the days. Yeah, the Most High has to cut the time short because we wouldn't make it out of here, man. You know who wants to destroy everything. Inhaling the chemicals that he sprays in the air, amongst other things, eventually takes a toll on the body, man. It's true. Look at this from RT News today. 3 deleted, or 3 dead in Montreal shooting. 3 people, including the police officer, civilian, and the suspected gunman, have been unalived. All right. And wrap up this lesson soon. So yeah, RT News UK's Starmer resigns as Prime Minister. He will resign from his post and will step down as the leader of the Labour Party. In an address outside 10 Downing Street on Monday, Starmer said he already informed King Charles III of his decision and asked the Labour Party to lay out a timetable to elect a new leader by September, adding that he will remain in his post until then. And even when they step down and stuff like that, they're still doing things in the background. The digital ID will continue to be pushed. All right? So people may believe, he was on about, pushing digital IDs, which, they're just puppets for the elites. The agenda's still the same. So digital IDs will be pushed. All right? Starmer became Prime Minister in 2024 following the Labour's party victory in that year's general election. They already select him, man, all right? And he should not be voting. He has repeatedly vowed to stay in the post, but has faced pressure to resign amid growing discontent and the declining popularity of his party. His resignation makes him the 6th UK Prime Minister to leave office in the past 10 years. So, queer Starmer, yeah, that's you. All right. Well, there you have it, man. All right. Look at this. National Guard soldier shoots an unalived US Army sergeant after finding him in bed with his ex-girlfriend and the mother of his own child. Jealousy is a razor, man. Okay. Drag queen, alphabet activist, school board member arrested for child fill in the blank crimes. Profane people, man. Horrible. Children are fools, man. Basemen. That's all I have on that. So I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom to the Lord's elect. What a bad baba.